Can I close with my own testimony?
Go ahead.
Can I tell you how good God is? Y'all don't. Y'all just. Y'all don't. Can I tell you how good God is? Won't He help you with your problem? Won't He help you? You think it's the darkest of the night, but when He turns your life around, pulls you back from a burning hell and sets you on solid ground, you can say, I wouldn't take nothing from a journey now.
That's all right.
I got a son. I told some of y'all about him, but that's all right. I'm going to tell you again. He's 23 years old. Good boy, good looking kid.
All right.
That's right. Look like his mama. See there, y'all thought, see? Look like his mama. He'll be here tomorrow night. When he was 18 years old, he was going to Langston University. It's a historically black college in Langston, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. He wanted to go to the. They had a homecoming. They call it. You know, he wanted to drive a car. Well, he didn't have a car, and I offered to let him drive my car. I got a big old photo car. He didn't want to drive that. This is several years ago. I didn't know it, but he had his cousin, his first cousin, rent him a 1995 Thunderbird. Now, at 18, you can't get no insurance on a rental car. In Oklahoma, I don't know how it is in New York. Well, he got the car, and you know how teenagers are. Anybody got any children? Anybody know what I'm talking about?
All right.
His sister, my middle child, she and I had gone to eat dinner that night, and we stopped by the building and used the phone. Well, the phone rung, and Michelle picked up the phone, and I could tell by her voice something bad was wrong. I could tell when I looked at her face something was wrong. She said, Daddy, Cherry is at the hospital in Edmond. My heart sunk. She said, they've had a wreck. They've had a car wreck. So we rushed off to the hospital. Y'all got time for this? He had 3 other boys in the car with him, showing out.
Yep.
That's what we call it, showing out.
Yes, sir.
Highway Patrol said that they estimated just from the skid marks and everything that he must have hit this curve at about 80 miles an hour. Lost control of the car. Car turned over a number of times. Threw everybody out of the car. Now I got an injured son, and I got 3 college students with medical bills, and I got a 1995 Thunderbird that is totally demolished. And to make bad matters worse, they had stuff in the car that ought not to have been in the car.
That's all right.
In addition to that stuff, they had a 9mm handgun. My son had been given a check by my wife. My son was rebuilding a 1969 Pontiac GTO. We done spent a bunch of money on this car. He had something done to the motor, and his mama had given him a check for $800. Instead of going and taking care of that, he had cashed a check and had the $800 in his pocket. Well, the police assumed, come on now, y'all, and so they took his money and the stuff and the gun. And you know, I don't know what young folks think about it. Wasn't no police around when they had the wreck. It was Langston's on a winding, dark road. And when they had the wreck, he was the first one to come to. He went and got the highway patrol. Y'all didn't hear what I said. I said, son, if you're going to be a crook, go ahead. Why go get the police and bring them to the car and you know all this stuff is in the car? But anyway, he's scared to death. He's scared to death. Look at his friends, they unconscious. Now I got a son with 5 felony counts. A tore-up 1995 Thunderbird. $40,000 worth of medical expense on 3 boys. Y'all, anybody relating to what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can I tell you what God can do?
Go ahead.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
No. Can I tell you what God can do?
Tell us, sir. That's it.
Come on.
Every attorney I went to, Kathy, every attorney I went to wanted $5,000 to take his case. That's about right, ain't it? $5,000. You know, I never even raised my voice with him, David. I never screamed at him. He was already whipped down there. See, what I finally learned is that the very thing that we try to keep them out of is the very thing God put there to make them listen when they wouldn't listen. I told him, I said, if this is your wake-up call, it's worth every bit of it. I watched him crumple in the corner and cry like a baby. Y'all still with me? My niece called me, his cousin. She said, Uncle, I just got through talking to my insurance company. She said, and they don't want to, but because I gave him permission to drive that car, the insurance company said they're going to pay for the Thunderbird. I said, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, thank you. That ain't nothing but the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Them boys with the $40,000 worth of medical bills, my son's not on my insurance policy. He's not on it. But my insurance company said, but Crenshaw, we have to protect our insurer. And if they can't get to your son, they'll come after you. So we're going to pay off the medical bills to protect you. I said, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Did somebody say thank you, Jesus? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And now, I done got the car taken care of. Got these medical bills taken, but I still got 5 felony counts on my son.
Yes, sir.
Go to 2 or 3 attorneys. What they want? $5,000. Man, I ain't got no $5,000. I'm a preacher. I ain't got no $5,000. I preach for the same church Peter and John preached for. Silver and gold have I none. I don't have $5,000 I can give nobody.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We had to go to court in a place called Guthrie, Oklahoma. And even if you've never been to Oklahoma with a name like Guthrie, you know we ain't got no business in there. Guthrie, Oklahoma. I walk in the courtroom, me and my son. I don't have no attorney. My son, my 3 daughters, and my wife. I heard somebody say, Reverend Crenshaw?
Go ahead.
I looked around and there was an attorney by the name of Kenneth Watson. Kenneth Watson is one of the best criminal attorneys in the state of Oklahoma. And his wife is the sister of Wanda Edwards, one of my most faithful members. Don't you see what God getting ready to do? Come on, somebody. He said, Reverend Crenshaw. Now, I'm going to make my confession right now, y'all.
Go ahead.
Correct.
I didn't take the time to explain Psalms 111 verse 9. I'm sorry. Y'all can chastise me after this is over. But he said, Reverend Crenshaw. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, what are you doing here? I said, man, I got a son. I went to pouring my heart out. He said, let me go up here and get his file from the DA. I said, wait a minute now. I don't have no money. He said, I ain't asked you for no money. Kenneth Watson took my son's case and never charged me a dime. Don't you see what God can do?
Glory to God.
And the way we survived that, I didn't get up in front of the church. I went to some folk that I knew cared about me. And I told them everything.
All right, yeah.
They said, Crenshaw, whatever you need, we behind you. Don't you know? See, God gives you folk that love you and care about you.
Sure.
Churches need to have people of compassion. Instead of always condemning somebody, getting around the corner and talking about somebody. That don't help nobody. My son is a better man today than he ever would have been had it not happened. He is more focused on school. He don't care nothing about driving no Thunderbird. Yeah, they had a homecoming the other day. He didn't even ask me for my car. He just soon ride with somebody else.
All right.
He'll tell you in a minute, I got to get through with school. All right. He's focused. He's a better person. We ought to be a church of a second chance. The community ought to know we don't condemn nobody. We don't look down on nobody. We ain't judgmental. Ain't no big eyes and little U's. And if you got a problem, Jesus said, let's bear one another's burdens. Amen. What's your image in the community? Flatland, Brooklyn, Roosevelt. Where else y'all from? What's your image in the community? Does the community see you as a caring people?
All right.
And let me show you something else. Right in that same chapter, and I'm going to close with this. Right in that same chapter. When those Pharisees laughed at Jesus for that kind of teaching, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that verse? What verse is that?
Verse 14.
Verse 14, what does it say?
And the Pharisees also,
The Pharisees also,
who were covetous,
heard all these.
things.
Covetous, that's folk who want everything.
Yeah.
Hoard their money.
All right.
When they heard this, they what?
They derided.
They derided him. They criticized him. They laughed about his teaching. And right down a few verses later, Jesus says, all right, you want to laugh? Huh? You want to say this ain't about nothing? You want to say you ought not to help take care of the down and out? You ought not to have an agenda of making folks' lives better? You want to keep stepping on the poor? You want to keep stepping on the sick? You want to keep stepping on the burdened down? You want to keep stepping on the less fortunate? Let me tell you another story. There was a certain rich man, fared sumptuously every day, and another man by the name of Lazarus just wanted the crumbs that fell from the rich man's table. Oh, but they both died, and the rich man lifted up his eyes in hell, and the Lazarus went on to the bosom of Abraham. Is that right? Why did the rich man go to hell?
Go ahead.
Come on now. It never said he was immoral. Didn't say he didn't treat his wife right. Didn't say he was a bad fella. And it ain't no sin to be rich. The reason he lifted up his eyes in hell is he ignored Lazarus.